Thank you, dear Honorable Mr. Charlie Fengan, Member of Irish Parliament and former Minister for Justice and Equality, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Trade, Minister for Children and Youth Affairs and Chair of Fine Gael Parliamentary Party. Honorable Mr. Justice K.T. Thomas, who has been honored with Padma Bhushan by Government of India and who has been the most respected judge, who served as the Judge of Supreme Court of India, acting Chief Justice of Kerala High Court and Judge of the Kerala High Court, my friend Prasant Shukla, Chairman of Ireland India Council, Mr. Damien Nee, co-chair of Ireland India Council, my friend Mr. C.M. Patel, an eminent attorney at Supreme Court of India and one of the leader of the Indian Bar, Miss Devisha Mohan, public relations intern at Ireland India Council, Mr. John K. Chandy, CEO of Hepta Container Inc., and Mr. Gary Henley of Heritage and Culture, and dear friends from Ireland and India. I'm delighted to be associated with the panel discussion on the similarities between the Irish and Indian constitution as a part of Indian Republic Day celebrations being organized by I- Ireland India Council. At the outset, I would like to state that the edifice on which the growth and progress of a country in a highly polarized world depends is its constitution. The constitution is the document from which a series of ideals and principles emanate that help a society retain its conscience. In fact, the importance and the value that a constitution holds can be gauged from the words of none other than Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who said, Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life and its spirit is always the spirit of age. Before elucidating on the similar features and commonalities of the Indian and Irish constitution, I deem it important to briefly apprise you of the meticulous process that each of these great nations followed before giving the citizens the gift of their respective constitutions. In India, the charge of drafting the constitution was bestowed upon a constituent assembly comprising 299 delegates who debated and deliberated for 114 days spread over the timeline of 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days before the mammoth task was completed. The Indian Constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26th November 1949 and finally came into force on 26th January 1950. This day, fateful day, when all Indians in unison celebrate what is proudly referred to as the Republic Day. And today, also, we are celebrating with great pride. On the other hand, the modern constitution of Ireland came into force on 29th December 1937 after it replaced the 1922 constitution. Interestingly, it is available in both English and Irish language, but in case of conflict, the Irish version prevails. This constitution paved the way for a liberal representative democracy in Ireland. Interestingly, it is said that when the Indian constitution was being drafted, the leaders of the Constituent Assembly sought advices from Edmund de Valera, of Ireland who brought to the table a rich experience in the realms of constitutional drafting. Now, coming to the similarities of the two constitutions, it is needless to say that because the Irish constitution preceded the Indian one, it was bound to have an influence on the latter. Experience is a great teacher, and the Irish had considerable experience with their constitution and its functioning before the Indian constitution was even drafted. Both the constitutions are written constitutions as opposed to the Constitution of Britain, which is unwritten. The two constitutions provide for liberal representative democracy and establishment of bicameral legislatures. Therefore, the scheme of the two constitutions is very similar. The two constitutions have incorporated a preamble, while the Irish constitution's preamble inter alia starts with the words we, the people of Ire. The Indian constitution preamble starts with the words we, the people of India. The Irish constitution has a separate article, being Article 5, to state that Ireland is a sovereign, independent, and democratic state. The forefathers of Indian constitution included these features in the preamble itself. The two constitutions provide for elaborate mechanism defining the form of the government, powers of the executive, and the parliament and the judiciary. The Irish and Indian constitutions have both incorporated chapters on fundamental rights and directive principles of social policy. As some of you may be aware, the chapter on directive principles of state policy in the Indian constitution have been borrowed from the Irish constitution. Therefore, the point I had made about the being a considerable Irish influence on the Indian constitution is further highlighted. More importantly, I would like to end by saying that it is important to uphold the constitutional principles in our hearts, as was stated by the great Indian jurist Nani Palkiwala, who said, Dharma or Dharma lives in the hearts of public men. When it dies, there no constitution, no amendment can save it. Thank you very much, Mr. Prashant Suklaji, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic. Thank you very much.